Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Father.
Christ is risen.
Indeed, he is risen.
So today we have the Sunday of St. Thomas. And in Scripture, in the Scripture reading for today, it said St. Thomas, that, after 8 days, and of course that's Middle English for the day inclusive, so it was a Sunday again. That on the following Sunday, the previous Sunday, St. Thomas wasn't there. All the other apostles were, except for, as we know, Judas, who went and hanged himself, as the Scripture says. But St. Thomas, and I'm blocking the icon, which is right behind me, did show up the following Sunday, though. So, but as it's an important lesson for me as a priest. I'll tell you this. This year, every year you learn something different from different scriptures, but for me as a priest, something stood out, and I wanted to share that with you. Was that Thomas was always missing services. Right? I mean, and he missed the most important one, right? The resurrection. Jesus, rises from the dead in the middle of the night, and of course, who's there right after that happens? Well, the angels are there when it happens. Right after it happens, the myrrh-bearing women, because they were already on earth, right? So they got to experience the risen Lord. The apostles had to wait because, they were busy mourning, right? They were busy crying for a dead Lord who was alive, because he was risen. And so, and St. Thomas, again, speaking of missing services, he missed Dormition too. I mean, he missed the resurrection of the Mother of God, and all the other apostles were at that one too. So, why is that important to me? Well, because Jesus still was just happy that Thomas came around. Thomas had a faulty faith. There's faulty but not unacceptable, as we read today. Thomas is like, I'm not going to believe it you. Jesus is like, most of us might have been like, really? After all this time, I told you all the time ahead of time. How many times did I tell you guys I was rising on the third day? And you're still saying you won't believe. But that's not Jesus' response. What did he say? Look, it's me. And then Thomas says, my Lord, my God. And he didn't scold him, didn't reprimand him, right? I mean, for his, let's say, not complete belief, right? So that's another important thing for me, is that, and it should be for all of us, that when someone is skeptical, we are not to just send them away. Go away, you heathen, you unbeliever. When people come questioning, and especially, I must say, our teenagers, or not just our teenagers, any teenagers, but anyone, young adults, everyone, when they come skeptical, we can't send them away. We have to be there and be prepared to give a good answer for the hope that is within us. And this is very important. This is one of the reasons why we're planted here. No, not all are called to be evangelists, right? But we're all called to be witnesses. Okay? So the myrrh-bearing women, not all of them had great theological language, right? Where'd they go? Guess who we just saw, right? They didn't need this great theology or anything else to say to the apostles. They say that the fact the Lord's risen. And by the way, we've seen the Lord. So Peter and John, they come a little behind, and but still they come to the tomb, and they see that the tomb is empty. And that is part of our role. Again, we don't need to have great flowery language, but we do have to tell people that that tomb was empty. When on Great Friday, in my sermon I pointed out, and this is part of the witness of it today, that one thing that's different about Christianity, and particularly Orthodox Christianity, than any other religious system, is the fact that every other, actually not just religious system, even atheist systems and agnostic and philosophical systems, everything. Every other system views people as part of a group. Only Christianity, and particularly Orthodox Christianity, sees the person first. Beginning with God, by the way. Right? There's a Trinity because there's one God the Father, from whom come the Son and Spirit, who are distinct. He saw this person. He saw Thomas and received him as a person. Not as part of a group, right? Not like, hey, you're one of my apostles. Just get believing like the rest of them did, right? All the rest of them were on board 7 days ago. No, that's not what he said. He said, it's okay, Thomas, just look. The tomb's empty and it's me. And that's what we have to do for people. We have to meet them where they are. We have to accept hard questions. And we have to, if we can't answer them, we point them to someone who can. Point them to me. And point them to various websites and so on. But in any case, it's okay. It's okay for the people who need to see some evidence. Let's be able to point them to where it is. Because we need to be different than everyone else in the world. Because those who treat collectivism, right, which the foundation is, we're part of a group, we only have our worth as part of a group, that has led to the greatest evils on the face of the earth. Christianity, and this is why collectivists hate Christianity, and seek to destroy it, is it says exactly the opposite. Every human person has a worth. There is no abstract humanity without at least one person. Right? There's no human without at least one person. One human person. There's no humankind without at least two human persons. There is no abstraction without the concrete thing. And the concrete thing was the person, and that's why this person came to become what we were, came to become human. So that he might share with us the energy of the divinity. That where he is, we might be also unto eternity. That's the whole purpose of the day. That's the whole purpose of this season. So, whether you're a myrrh-bearing woman who is there from the beginning, whether you're Peter or Paul who comes later, the other apostles who are a little later even still, whether you're St. Thomas, who's skeptical and even comes later. May God bless you richly with fullness. May we all sit at a table where none of us feast any less. And that's not the way God works anyway. We receive a portion of communion, but we receive the whole Christ every Sunday. And that is a beautiful, wonderful thing. May God bless you and keep you in the light of his resurrection.